there's a lot of room to catch up in Europe. So I actually think I'm kind of nuanced in what I say in the book because Trump hadn't been elected yet. But I say if Europe seems to be under pressure to remilitarize. I was aware that Harris was probably going to cut the U.S. defense budget, so that would put pressure on them. Remilitarizing would actually be good for the euro. It would be good for technology in Europe. It would give them more geopolitical power in the system. But yeah, I do. Now, I have to say, just so your listeners can calibrate this, I once, my first book was a very mathematical book called Foundations of International Macroeconomics. And, in theory, you should diversify. You shouldn't put all your money in the United States. And I did a video with Zbigniew Brzezinski, Mika Brzezinski's father, for people who don't know who he is, but he was Carter's Kissinger. I did a video with him that Merrill Lynch produced, and it was about why international diversification could be good. And what they got me to say was very, very, limited. I feel quite fine about what I said. I wasn't doing any consulting at the time. I just did academic work. I didn't do speeches. I didn't do consulting. I talked to central banks a bit, but I didn't do anything for money. But I did get paid for this. It circulated 500,000 copies of this. And a lot of my friends teased me and said, you would have made a lot more money if you just hadn't followed your own advice. So, and I could think of plenty of other examples like that. But yeah, my instinct is that, this idea that our U.S. premium just should get bigger and bigger and bigger. These things have some regression to mean. Maybe not with AI all being in the U.S.
Is it because you're predicting, does the S&P keep growing at 8%, but foreign equities do even better? Or
I'm just going to safely say foreign equities doing better than dollar
but not
equities.
Because the growth in U.S. equities slows down. It's just that they do even better, or is it that the U.S. equities slow down?
I mean, look, you have a lot of friends who spend all their time doing this, and I wouldn't pretend to. I hold a very neutral portfolio because I talk to policymakers and world leaders even on occasion, and I don't want to be someone who's talking about regulating Bitcoin and owning a lot of Bitcoin, right. Not to pick a random example. And so I wouldn't regard myself as great at this. But yes, I think there's a case for international diversification, particularly into Europe at this point, because they have so much potential catch up. There's just as in, I think, California, where you're from, there's a little bit of dim awareness that it might be overregulated and you might do things differently. I feel that's happening in Europe.
If you look internationally, if you had been betting on catch-up, I wonder if you could backtest it. Because there's some intuition, well, if you're poorer than the frontier, it makes sense that it would be easy for you to catch up. There's another intuition that if you've been persistently behind the frontier, there must be some deep endogenous reason why you...
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So, for example, Asia has a lot more governance problems, I would say, on the whole. And there's a reason that their price-earnings ratios are lower because you don't trust the governance. You're right. I mean, so that's fair. And a lot of people are just betting on that. But, I think Europe's not so hopeless that it can't pull it together. I make the comparison. I'm a basketball fan. The Boston Celtics just got crushed by the Knicks just before we're taping this. Part of it is our star, Jason Tatum, was injured. Well, you may not have gotten any better Europe, but if somebody's hobbling the United States, and I do think that's going on to some extent now, you do better.
If you enjoyed this clip, you can watch the full episode here and subscribe for more clips. Thanks.